Okay. Hello, everybody.
Hello,
All
hello,
right.
hello.
All right. So, anyways, welcome to the Mikestand, everybody. I hope everybody's had a good week this week. Of course, tonight is Friday, so it's our weekly look at the historical commentary. If you haven't as of yet, if you guys can help us out by liking and sharing the stream, and see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage, that'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here we talk about grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. We'll try to answer questions to the best of our ability. So, with that
And
being said, huh, go ahead,
oh,
Rick.
sorry. I was just going to say, and I have to apologize not for getting a collage done for this week for Ace Comics. I think that's what we're on.
Well, yeah, Ace Comics, Ace Magazines. We're gonna be going over, I'll get into that. I'll get into what we're doing on that in a moment. But before, of course, we do that, um, would you like to do an intro, Rick? Talk about anything promote anything you're doing. Talk about what maybe share any links. You get the shtick, right?
Yeah, the same old, same old. Well, of course, as most people already know here, I am Cross Comics. My name is Rick, as you alluded to by calling me Rick. Let's hope you're calling me by something that I want to be called. You're
Yeah.
calling me something.
Okay.
But there is a link to my channel if anybody wants to go over, check it out, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. It would be nice. And, you know, listen and share it out and all that.
All right. Let me just take care of some things here real quick, and then I will get into what's on tap for tonight. Just sharing this out, let people know that we're on, and um, see if we can get some people to drop in. Oh, I'm just sharing it right now with some people that I look like they might be online on Facebook, just so
Yeah,
that
no problem. I'm
these
like,
people I think might be interested in checking out what we're doing. All right, so with that, all right, so here's what's on tap for tonight, everybody. Tonight I'm going to introduce you to the world of Ace Magazine / Ace Comics, which of course started up. Well, apparently as Ace Magazines, they were doing. We'll get into all the history of it back in the earlier part of the 30s. It was in March of 1940 that they published their first comic book, Surefire Comics #1, which we'll be getting into in a moment. Here will be, now I may not get to every story I intend to. Like there's 7 features I plan on trying to get through tonight. We'll get through as many as we can. But before we get into the actual reading of the stories, of course, I'm gonna introduce you guys to the world of Ace Comics. Go over some preview stuff, their publication history, do a couple character histories, and then we'll get into the actual reading. So that's pretty much what we got on tap for tonight. Let's see, we're at 4.5 minutes. So how'd your day go today, Rick?
pretty good. I got most of a course done for a certificate that I wanted to get for. Hopefully, that might help me get a job. So that's good. I'm probably going to be doing the test Monday mid morning, afternoon to get the certificate, so that's good. And went out, got a bite to eat for free, and then I went to a little just before I went to here. I came back here to make sure it was back here time to get on. Went to a little bit of a worship service, so it was supposed to be a 2 hour thing. I got there late and I left way early, so.
Well, you did remember to sit in the back so you wouldn't be too much of a disturbance, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, so. All right, so with that, now we are just past the 5 minute mark. In fact, we're coming up on 6 minutes now, so why don't we go ahead and get started with what we're going over tonight. So, well, the first thing I'm doing here is we're going to go over Ace Comics. So I'll read off some of the history here. Introduce everybody to Ace Comics, the world of Ace Comics here. So Ace Comics 1940. Ace Comics was the banner under which pulp magazine publisher Aaron A. Wynn and his wife Rose Wynn produced comic books between 1940 and the end of 1956. The Wynns had been publishing pulp fiction under the periodical house and magazine publishers' names since 1928. Like many comic book publishers of the day, Ace Comics' earlier series included costume superheroes, although as trends in the comic book market changed, by the 1950s, the focus shifted more to other genres, such as crime, horror, romance, and later westerns. And of course, well, as we know too, even in the 30s, they had a mix of, yes, you did have superheroes, but you had a mix of them too. And we'll show all that in a moment here.
Yeah, well, because superheroes didn't start till 1938, really, with Superman, because I believe he's attributed to being the first quote unquote superhero.
Well, okay, I'll put it this way. He was the one who kind of like popularized the whole superhero, supernatural being thing, but he wasn't necessarily the first one, because Doctor Occult actually predates him by like about 3 years. Doctor Occult started up back in like 1935 with more fun, or actually New Fun #1. So,
or maybe he's more attributed to in the DC universe to being the first superhero.
Well, Doctor Occult, it was at DC as well. So, but so, anyways, and I think the Clock actually might predate Superman as well, even though because the Clock initially debuted in trying to think. Oh, in Centaur Comics in 1936 before moving over to Quality in 1937. So,
yeah. Well, the Clock definitely is DC.
Well, he's DC now, but he was actually back around this time. He was actually Quality Comics. So, but anyways, let's get into the furthering of this. So, the most successful and longest running superhero title was Super Mystery Comics, featuring Magno the Magnetic Man and his boy partner Davy, who appeared in 28 issues of the title's 48-issue run. Horror titles including Baffling Mysteries, Hand of Fate. Now, Magno the Magnetic Man, that's not to be confused with Quality's Magno the Magnetic Man. I think it's a different character altogether.
Or Magneto, the Master of Magnetism.
Yeah. And Web of Mystery, while the contribution to the crime comics genre was Crime Must Pay, the Penalty. The title later shortened to Penalty for the final 2 issues. The longest running series, and again, a lot of this evolving into into the 50s. We'll see. Does and I think they'll talk about it too here. Ace's connection to the whole Comics Code Authority. Um, in a moment here. So let's see. The longest running series were the company's romance titles: Glamorous Romances, Love at First Sight, Love Experiences, and Real Love. Now, mind you, many again, along with along with several other companies, a lot of companies were also doing these romance comics as well at this point in time.
Probably trying to attract the girls.
Yeah. So, which began in the late 1940s as the superhero books faded away and continued until the company ceased publishing comic books in 1956 as a result of the introduction of the Comics Code Authority. Other long-running romance titles, such as Complete Love Magazine and 10 Story Love, began as pulp romance titles before switching to comics format in the early 1950s. See if we got anybody coming in yet. Nope.
No, I'll let you know if anybody comes in for sure.
A number of Ace stories were used as examples of violent and gruesome imagery in the 1950s U.S. congressional inquiries into the influence of comic books on juvenile delinquencies that led to the Comics Code Authority, namely Challenge of the Unknown, number 6, not to be confused with Challengers of the Unknown. Well, Challengers of the Unknown, I think, came out a little later, more like the 60s, I believe. But Crime Must Pay the Penalty, number 3, and Web of Mystery, number 19, Western Adventure Comics, number 3, was used in an example. Western Adventures Comics number 3 was used in an example in Frederick Worthen's Seduction of the Innocent, and in the United Kingdom, Atomic War number 4, Beyond number 18, and World War III number 2 were cited as examples by Jeffrey Wagner's 1954 book on the same subject, Parade of Pleasure, the story of popular iconography.
Iconography?
No. Iconography. In the USA. Although characters with the same names as Ace Khan's characters have appeared elsewhere, most notably Jack Kirby's Captain Victory in the early 1980s series, and several DC Comics villains called the Black Spider. After and in fact, one of the features we're going to be looking at is called the Raven here as well, and I'll get into that in a moment. But we'll get into that when we talk about a couple of features. After the early 1950s, all their characters remained unused until 2008, when Lash Lightning and Lightning Girl appeared in flashback in Dynamite Entertainment's Project Superpowers. In the one-shot Project Superpowers Chapter 2 Prelude, it was stated that the two of them will appear in this line as part of a team called the Super Mystery Men. Now, I think I mentioned this to you before, Rick. The term Mystery Men was used a lot back then to describe, masked vigilantes at this time. Presumably named after the Ace title Super Mystery Comics. And then these are some of the comic names, and of course we'll get into those, later. Lightning Comics right there was actually continuation of the comic that we're going to be looking at tonight, Surefire. Surefire Comics technically only had 4 issues, but two of those issues were number threes. You had 3A and 3B. So, um, and then here are some of the characters like Ace McCoy from Surefire Comics, Buck Steele. These are some of the characters with Haphazard, Lash Lightning, the Raven, Marvo the Magician, Wiz Wilson. So, anyways, so I'm going to go to Lash Lightning here. Now, in his initial appearance, Lash Lightning was called Flash Lightning. So I'll do the first off. These include super strength, super speed, flight, limited invulnerability, able to generate electricity, radiates heat, and track Lightning Girl. So publication history.
Attractive girl.
So look at the publication history over here. In his first appearance, this character was named Flash Lightning. The name was changed to Lash Lightning by the second issue to avoid confusion with DC Comics Flash. Starting with issue number 4, Surefire would rename Lightning Comics to take advantage of the star character's popularity. He also appeared in issues 1 to 22 of the Ace title For Favorites. About halfway through this run, the Lash was dropped. It was simply named Lightning. And that's all we need to know for now. And then
I wonder if anybody owns the rights to any of these characters.
Well, it'd be a little bit harder here because some of these characters have names that actually are like as I was saying, they changed it to Lash Lightning just because they didn't want to get it confused with Flash. And then of course you have another character we'll look at in a moment here, the Raven, who they had to change or Raven, so
It's the Raven, at least in this list here.
Yeah, Raven Ace Comics here. Let me just do something here real quick. With that. All right, so the Raven is a fictional superhero character who first appeared in Ace Comics, title Surefire Comics, not to be confused with the DC Comics character. All right, so they didn't say he had any specific powers here. Publication history. And the only reason I didn't go through the fictional biography, of course, is only because, we'll get to that when we actually read the title. So, but the Raven first appeared in Surefire Comics number 1, June 19. Well, cover date June 1940, obviously, as did Lash Lightning. In 2008, the Raven, now renamed Mr. Raven to avoid a trademark conflict with DC Comics, appeared in flashback in Project Superpowers number 0. In the one-shot Project Superpowers Chapter 2 Prelude, it stated that Mr. Raven will appear in this line, as a member of the team Super Mystery Men. So, again, I'm not gonna read. Oh, go ahead, Rick.
I didn't even think DC had the character Raven back that far. And then I would think with it being the name of
they probably didn't. I think the only reason that the name was changed to Mr. Raven because it was for 2008. I think because obviously the Raven we're talking about with DC came about, I think, sometime in the 80s. As part of the new Teen Titans.
Yeah, 80s or
You know,
70s.
so I don't even think DC was even thinking of a character called the Raven at this point. But they did. It was a
Yeah,
much different character. Not to be confused with the Raven we know. You know,
and then the
the
other
girl
thing I
Raven.
was going to say, yeah, the other thing I was going to say about this too was the fact that Raven itself is a bird would allow that name to be public domain, for lack of better thing. Now, obviously, DC's character Raven is not public domain. Just if you or me wanted to create a character named Raven, we could. We just would have to make sure it was nothing like DC's
Yeah.
character.
So all right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and move forward. Now that we kind of went through the publication histories a little bit here, so as I said, we're going to be going over. So the features we're going to be trying to get through tonight. I'm going to read them straight through. We're going to start with the Flash Lightning feature and the Raven feature. They're right next to each other. Then like Wiz Wilson, um, Marvo the Magician, Ace McCoy, Haphazard, and Buck Steele.
Yeah,
Now 7 features there. Now whether or not we get through all 7 of them, and I'll aim to try to do it because they're all they're very obviously Flash, Lightning, and Raven are the 2 superhero features, and then
yeah,
from what I gather, um, based on some of the titles and stuff like that, Wiz Wilson is actually a sci-fi story. Marvel the Magician's the Magician. Um, Haphazard's actually more of a humor story. Ace McCoy, I'm guessing, is a pilot adventure, and Buck Steele is a
possibly.
western story. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how good or bad the writing is because it was saying I believe the husband and wife were doing, uh, a pulp magazine since 1928. So they've been at the writing or had stuff being written for like 12 years. So you would hope that they would know good writing at this point.
mm-hmm.
So it's going to be
Well,
interesting
from
to
what I
see.
understand, some of these characters are actually based on, like for example, the Raven character is based on, I guess the Moon Man pulp that they did in 1934. So, but again, we'll find out because we're about to start the reading here,
Yeah,
and I don't know if you did actually have a chance to go through and preview
no,
some of that.
no, and I just mentioned that because that seems to be one of the biggest, for lack of a better term, gripes that we have a lot with these stories is the writing and how good it is. How many plot holes there are or whatever. So
Yeah, but as we've been discovering the last few weeks here too, they are starting. Overall, the writing is starting to get a little bit better. You know,
yeah,
Mm. they are again obviously compared to like maybe a few months back. Now we're getting to this part, but anyways,
yeah, but this is their first comic out, so it's the first comic out, but not necessarily their first project out because they got the pulp magazines. So that's why I'm saying it's going to be interesting to see what the writing is like.
come on. Yeah, unfortunately,
Although their little signature there is really small, Ace Comics.
yeah.
You barely notice it.
All right. So, anyways, here we go. Now we're 24 minutes into this. All right, so new fast action thrillers. Surefire Comics. Meet Flash Lightning, X the Phantom Fed, Ace McCoy, the Raven, Buck Steele, many other new characters.
Really new characters.
I'm gonna try something here. See if I can turn this back on and still not have to worry too much about. I may have to like turn it on and off, but if I'm making transitions. Well, tonight we don't need to worry about making transitions to other books, but
Art's not looking too bad. I was going to say it looks a bit dark, but I
well,
think
I don't. I hope you didn't see it, but when I was clicking on here, I got some advertisements, particularly some particularly naughty ads, as it were.
no, we didn't see those. I was just saying it does look a little dark, but I think that's the scan.
Yeah, scan scenes all right. So there's Flash Lightning right there. You see that, Rick?
Yeah. Flash, lightning. He looks more like Flash Gordon than he does the Flash.
Yeah. Egypt, the land of eerie mystery, birthplace of the black arts and weird wisdom. A great evil is rising to strangle the world. Crime is on the march under the gruesome black banner of doom. Black banner of doom.
Of Doom.
Only one man
Not
is
Dr. Doom.
yeah. Only one man is determined to save the world. He is the ageless old man of the pyramids. We meet him in an Egyptian temple with Robert Morgan, a young American he has schooled in all the ancient and modern sciences.
Okay, this seems like a cross between Hawkman and Shazam. Or Captain Marvel.
Yeah. All right.
The real Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Let's see. I guess I'll do the old man here. You do Flash Lightning.
Okay.
The day has come, Robert Morgan, for you to go out into the world and fulfill your destiny. You alone can stop the spread of evil. On you, the world's salvation depends. You are not afraid.
No, honored sir, I have not forgotten your teachings.
Well spoken, my boy. I am sure your parents, had they lived, would have been proud of you. To you has been given the arts and sciences of the past and present. You have great power, and now I give you your name, and the greatest gift of all. Neil, I name
His name's
you.
Neil? It's good to meet Neil.
I name you Flash Lightning, and bestow upon you the amulet of annihilation, the weapon of the forces of right. The weapon of the forces of right, the amulet of annihilation. That's a very
Yeah, that
interesting.
sounds counterintuitive. Sounds like a little bit of an oxymoron.
Yeah. Flash lightning. That pile of rocks will serve as a target. but you must be careful how you throw your lightning bolt.
Shall I throw it now?
Not so fast, my impetuous young student. You do not realize your great power.
I'm sorry, sir.
Like a streak of flame, the lightning finds its mark. Well done, my son. A direct hit. The farewell.
I'm sorry to leave, sir.
It is destined that you go, but remember, your powers work only for good. And now away to New York. So he's sending him directly to New York. Hmm.
I wonder if they
Born.
should be in shock.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, I wonder if there should be any culture shock from where this guy has lived to end up being in, 1940s New York.
Hmm. Born on wings of lightning, he streaks through the air. Directed by the old man, he lands on a pier in New York Harbor.
That must be the ship I was told to see. Now, I have to say something before we go on. The first panel of these two panels on the bottom, that arm is just wrong. The one that's going backwards. Actually, I think even the legs are a little off too. The whole side, the legs that are going, the leg and the arm that are going backwards. Probably even the one going forward's not all the best. But
the scale isn't as good as you think it should be. Is what you're saying?
well, it's not only that; it's just the way that he's positioned. That arm, both of his arms. The one up front's not too bad, but I think the one going backwards, it's
Mm-hmm.
just too stiff. Even probably the one going forward's a little too stiff.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Well, one of the things I think I noticed too is I might be wrong, but the arm up front there seems a little longer than one in back.
yeah, that too. They're well, they both seem long for just in general,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just a little bit of critique for the artwork. For normally critiquing the writing, and actually the writing's not so bad at the moment. There's a little bit of suspending disbelief, I guess, is the best way to put it. But
As the boat is docked, a weird figure under guard steps down the gangplank. Hmm. So I'll do the guy on the left. You do the guy on the right there. I'll
all
be
right,
glad. I'll be glad when we get rid of this stowaway, Joe. He gives me the creeps.
me too.
Uh, The reptile man.
Okay, he's
Death,
a reptile.
death awaits outside the pier as antennae rise, or strange antennae arise from two cars parked near the exit. All right, so I guess I'll just do both of these. Hmm. They're taking him off the boat now. I'll have this one ready in a minute. Hurry up! He's almost here. The curtain of fire.
Look out, Joe!
What is it? What is it? Actually, I think you were Joe. I was the other guy.
Well,
uh,
I thought the it doesn't matter. Yeah.
as the car speeds on, lightning runs to the side of the dead man.
Why, he's burnt to a crisp. Those fiends. What is this? His hair. A metal tube and a note?
The message. You might want to be the one to try to read that because basically you're.
To Mary Park, 17 and a half Spink Street. The poison of red ant whites falls, fills my brain. The jewel, is that jewel man?
It looks like it.
The jewel men are close behind me. Spies of the Phoenix are waiting along the coast. Even if I can stow away to New York, I won't be safe. If someone finds this, tell Mary Parker that her father and some of his party are still alive at north latitude 1510, west longitude 87.27. Prisoners of the Phoenix, John Ronan. So I wonder if that's Peter Parker's aunt.
Maybe, I don't know.
I doubt it. It's a totally different comic book.
Right.
She was even in bed.
Well, Mary Parker is Mary Parker would obviously be a pretty common name. There's probably more than one Mary Parker. Especially here in this case because they're just talking Mary Parker, not to be confused with Mary Jane Parker.
Right? Yeah. Well, no. Like what I meant is Peter. I shouldn't say aunt because.
Well, his aunt was May Parker. First off.
Yeah. But I believe his mother was Mary Parker.
Oh yeah, Richard and Mary Parker. That's right.
Yeah. So I shouldn't have said aunt. I should have said mother, but
But on the nearby roof, some stranger has a message. Take it down as I dictate. So swiftly, the human eye can't follow him. Lightning speeds to the Parker home.
Okay, only one problem here. This is where I have a problem with this. The guy has never been to New York, as far as we know. Or that's the way I would say it makes it sound. Yet he knows his way around enough to know where this one place is in New York.
Well, maybe he has been. Grant, they've never made it clear. Like, I don't really get the impression he was just, he spent his entire life in that far away in the Middle East there, because they did say he was an explorer. So he may actually have originally been in America and may have originally been from America. And then he just on an exploration trip came upon the old man and was trained in the magical arts, as it were.
So, yeah, I guess so.
Granted, they didn't give a whole lot of background there on that aspect, but that's a possibility, So,
yeah.
But
I'd have to reread that.
But again, what we have seen with these writers too is that sometimes they may not give as detailed a background story because they may just not feel either, they feel they got to keep the story to a certain page count, or they just don't feel it's quite as pertinent as to the story as it should be, or some people might believe it should be. So.
Yeah, and especially back then, that's something that they would possibly easily overlook too. But it's something that I thought he had studied a lot longer there. Maybe I missed something. I might have. Sounds like I did from what you said. So.
I don't know if they actually mentioned. I don't think they actually mentioned how long he stayed there. We just know that he was there for at least long enough to be taught all the, you know, he
Yeah.
may have already
Yeah.
had some scientific knowledge coming there because I think they did list him as an explorer. So, um,
Yeah, see, that's something I missed that he was an explorer. I thought he got left there when he was a kid by his parents or something like that. But, like I said, that's my bad. Uh, Maybe I'll go back over the story later and look. We don't really have the time to right now. But, anyways, we should get on with the thing. So, Flash. Lightning, is Miss Parker home?
hmm. Yeah, yeah, yes, sir. She's upstairs. But who are you?
A friend who wants to help. I have a message for you.
It's like an answer to my prayers. It proves Dad is still alive.
I don't understand.
The man who died on the pier is a friend of Dad's. He accompanied him on a secret expedition to Central America 6 months ago. Last month, Dad's letters stopped coming. I was afraid he had died. You will help me, won't you? I'm sure Dad's in danger.
Of course. Now, first, say, what's on the door?
A black crab! A warning from the Phoenix!
Don't be frightened. Who is this Phoenix?
Dad's arch enemy. He has sworn to kill him. He's been trying to get control of Dad's notes.
What is it, Cynthia?
There's an undertaker at the door, miss. He's delivered 2 coffins. He says they are for you and the young man.
This may be a trick. Is there a back way out of the house?
We can go out through here. Hurry, hurry.
Wait. Be careful.
The trap. Flexing his muscles, Lightning reflects the bullets from his powerful body. A la Superman.
Yeah.
Hey, this guy ain't human. Keep shooting, Tony. We'll get him.
So, you fellas want to play, eh? How's this?
Ouch! He's killing me. But as more thugs arrive, Lightning, fearing for Mary's safety, carries her out of harm's way.
While they're so busy, we'll try the front door.
But at the front door,
The curtain's on fire. I better try the roof. Out of the way, you apes.
we're trapped. What shall we do?
I'll give those cars a jolt.
The lightning finds its mark. The thugs vanquished. Lightning speeds through the sky, carrying the startled Mary Parker in his arms. As Lightning approaches the destination, even given in the note, startled natives watch him. Him bird man is great medicine man. I know these are Uh, Chicastengos. Chicastenagos. Dad wrote me about them. They are very friendly. This is their chief.
Did he include pictures? Your dad?
Hmm.
Chief, I want to visit that volcano. Have you someone to guide me?
Hmm. No, no. There is great evil in Crater. Live, Crater. Live the evil spirits. It is death. As the chief speaks, the Zutiles are coming. The Zutiles are coming. Come, we must prepare for battle. Spears! We must get away quickly. They are the Jewel Men. They have no mercy on anyone.
We'll stand and fight, but you must find a place of safety.
The savage Jewel Men attack, but but in lightning meet their match. Lightning quickly routs the invaders.
Here, take this home with you. This isn't a native spear, it was made by a machine.
You don't think? Evil white men, give them to Jewel Men.
A white man?
Him have white men chained in cavern by volcano.
The phoenix. He must have Mary's father, and heaven knows who else is in his power.
Immediately they strike out through the jungle towards the volcano, but the girl slips and plunges into the crocodile infested stream.
Okay, I have a small question here. This goes a little bit beyond the belief in the story. Why would you take her with you? You know there's bad guys there. Leave her in the village and fly over to where the problem is, and then get to work. Maybe
Maybe he feels he can protect her with her standing like next to him. With
yeah,
her being like there's always a chance that even if he does try to leave her behind, maybe the Phoenix goes to the village to try to kidnap her, and then she becomes a hostage. Maybe
yeah. Well,
maybe he feels she's safer with like at his side as opposed to being back in the village. Or maybe she insisted on going because of course it's her father they're going to try to rescue.
yeah. Then I just get the well. She's insisting you just get the villagers to tie her up and leave her that way till he's gone or till he comes back.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just you're bringing somebody into harm's way that when they're most likely better off staying out of harm's way.
Mm-hmm.
At least in my opinion.
All right. Streaking through the water, lightning grabs one one tearing its jaws apart. When at last the stream is filled with the dead monsters, um, he carries Mary to the bank. Soon they reach the gate leading to the cavern of the chained men.
Oh God. Eh? This will hold you. Not a sound. Or you die. Mary, get his keys.
There you go. Maybe there are things that she can do to help to help their cause. Like you know, as he's keeping the guard at bay, she grabs the keys to unlock the dungeon or the cage that's keeping her father in. It's
Yeah,
so
well, I
dark in here.
figured got
Oh,
these
go
off,
ahead.
but
It's so dark in here. I can't see.
I don't want to strike a light. Wait, look there.
The cavern of the chained men. It's horrible. Those poor men. And there's, yes, I'm sure. It is, it's Dad. Hidden behind a rock, Mary and Lightning talk to Parker. Dad, where are the men who came with you?
All dead. All the victims of the Phoenix. But why is the Phoenix so vindictive? In his madness, he wants to rule the world. He gets money by forcing us to work here. The volcano's heat is used to manufacture synthetic jewels. It's hard to tell them from the real ones. His New York gang sells them all over the world. He look out!
So the so I guess the Phoenix has a pretty interesting deal going for himself there, doesn't he?
Yeah, for sure.
A pretty interesting criminal empire there.
Yeah.
Right. Suddenly, a trap door opens.
Mary, wait, those gases are deadly. Then we'll try the top of the cavern.
Lightning scales a rough wall. At the top, he draws back his right arm.
I should be able to crawl through this.
As he crawls through the roof of the cavern, he is attacked by a guard. Promptly, he flings him over the side of the mountain, but an unseen danger looks above. Lightning's powerful hands tie the huge reptile into knots.
Guess that will hold you for a while.
He follows the sound of drums to the python pit, where Mary is being prepared for sacrifice. With a triumphant cry, the men lower her into the pit. Lightning plunges after her.
Those pythons will crush her to death. Mary, I'm coming.
When the last snake, um, when the last snake is
Lies.
dead, lies dead at his feet, he cuts Mary free and turns to meet the advanced Python men.
Stay where you are.
Stop! The Phoenix commands. And as for you, my American friend, you are my prisoner. A slight pressure of my hand, and I can blow up this entire volcano. Let's see. In answer, lightning hurls a bolt. The panic stricken Python men flee in terror before the bolt. What about Dad? What's happened to him?
Don't worry. We'll free all the men. Men down.
All right. Freed by lightning, the chained men turn on their former captors. Homeward bound, we've got to get Dad to a doctor.
We will. Look, a plane. It's the Phoenix.
So he thought he finished me. Now I'll have my revenge. Bombs rain on the party as lightning prepares to throw.
Stay clear, everybody.
The bolt finds its mark. You hit it. It's going into the crater. That's the end of the Phoenix. Thank heaven. Now, for something like that, can you imagine like some SJW sitting there going, "Yeah, that's wrong. That's cruel." Right?
Yeah.
All right. So at home, Lightning finds a visitor. Well done, my boy. But there are other great evils for you to fight.
I am ready, ancient sir.
What new task will the old man of the pyramids assign to Flash Lightning? Follow his dashing career in the next issue. All right, Rick. So, what did you think of this story?
Definitely
Overall.
interesting. Definitely interesting. For sure. There's a few things that leave a little bit to be desired, but definitely not too bad for a first go. Um, they're getting their feet wet in a new area, so I guess some growing pains to be expected a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't too bad overall. I don't think.
Yeah, I guess.
And of course, we got another story coming up right away. The Raven, I believe.
Yeah, that will actually be the next story coming right up. The Raven. Guess we'll get right into that. Was there a reason you went to your avatar there, Rick?
Yeah, I was getting up to get something to drink.
Okay.
I didn't think everybody wanted everybody to see that, so
Yeah, I get it.
I didn't even have to
We
take
didn't
off my headphones. But
we didn't need you giving everybody a crotch shot.
well, I thought that's whatever anybody would see. But
All right, so looks like you're back now, right?
yeah,
All right, so let's get into this then. The Raven, Master Avenger, preys on the clever crooks that um, that the law can't touch. Um, he
daring or deadly.
he daringly takes their ill-gotten gains from them and gives it back to the victims. The bold raven is as loved by the okay by the
Weak.
by the weak and helpless, feared and by all criminals, and and pursued by the law. So I'm gonna check something. I'm gonna make me go off camera for a moment and see about making some lighting.
Hello, Clayman. We got a new person. Well, I'm not sure the new person, but a guy named Clayman here.
Hey, Clayman, welcome to the show. We're just reading through a little comic. Rick, why don't you talk to Clayman for a moment while I go off camera here for a moment? I just need to check something here.
Sure. How are you, Clayman? What is up? How did you come about this show tonight? If you don't mind answering.
Maybe.
We're just reading some comics from Ace Comics from uh, March of 1940. The comic is actually you got recommended on my YouTube homepage. Oh, that's awesome. That's good to hear. So, are you into comics at all, or geek stuff? I'm from Canada, Ontario, Canada. Mike, the host of the channel, is from the States in California. But yeah, we're Friday nights. He usually goes through old comics. Right now, we're going through various comics from March of 1940. He has a different panels on with him reading. Oh, nice. I'm from France. Ah. Oh, parlez-vous français? Bonjour. I know a teeny bit of French from being here in Canada. I live in the English part of Canada. Well, most of Canada is English, of course. There's only one province that's pretty much all French, and of course it's butchered French compared to your French. Je m'appelle Ricardo. Non, Ricardo. Je m'appelle Richard. Trying to remember my French. It's been years since I had to use it. And you don't use it, you lose it, right? All right, it's actually 4 a.m. now. I'll go to sleep. It's not fun. Okay, well, thank you for stopping by. And au revoir. God bless.
All right, so got recommended to me on my YouTube homepage. Let's see. Where y'all from? I guess you were answering them. Oh, nice. I'm from France. Bonjour. Yeah. All right.
Well, if you can, and if you're still here, Clayman, if you can, make sure you subscribe if you're liking what you're seeing, and share it out, and hit the like button too.
Yeah. All right. So with that, let's get ready to continue on here. We're already an hour into the show here. Stealthily, the Raven opens the door to the library of Alan Reynolds, crooked stockbroker. His sensitive fingers quickly work the combination of the small wall safe. Hello, who's there? Oh, the Raven. Oh, okay. You want to do the Raven? Go ahead. I was going to do the Raven, but go ahead and do the Raven.
Oh, no, you don't. That's going to be a hard one to read.
Because dark green, All right. So
black with dark green and
so
something beats holds the raven something up the
Yeah.
something to the
Yeah.
balcony doors.
Yeah. The
I
scan's
guess the
not that
Ravens
great.
leave it. I guess to say the Raven leaves.
Yeah, we'll just skip that one.
Yeah. Now back to the hideout and see that the money is given back to its rightful owners. Mike, be sure all these packages get to all the victims of all the Reynolds victims.
Gee, boss, but you're a swell guy. Those people sure need the dough. Each package of money is tied with a band um, on which is the raven's crest.
The next man on our list is Arthur Wells. He's taking money for the charity. I'm going to see that it's returned tonight.
And then you want to read that note there?
Mr. Wells, I know that you have taken $5,000 for ver- various
Bogus.
charity, bogus charity. You see, you are not getting away with that $5,000 on your uh, something take at midnight tonight, or you'll suffer the consequences. The Raven. Mike, deliver this note to Wells Mansion to supercar uh, see that my supercar is in front of his residence at exactly 11:55 tonight. Be sure to leave the motor running. So
Okay, boss. Calling Detective Sergeant Danny Darton. Report at headquarters immediately. Calling Detective. Boss, you sure take chances here. You're engaged to the captain's daughter, and you go messing around in the business. What if they find out? It's good work you do, but the risk is great. Be careful, huh?
stop it, Mike. I'll watch out. Hey, Jack, how things going?
Ah, Danny, the old man's waiting for you. Better hop on it too. He's mad.
Why, hello, darling. I didn't know you were here.
This is the only place I can see you these days. You've been very neglectful, Danny.
Well, you see, this Raven case keeps me busy.
Speaking of the Raven, you better go and see Dad. Go in and see Dad. Boy, at last we've got a real clue to the identity of the Raven.
What? Oh, I mean, that's swell.
Here they are, Danny. The Raven's thumbprint and one of his gloves. I'm going to check on this thumbprint. Hope we've got a line on it. I'll be back in a jiffy.
Lola, honey, when will you marry me?
When you're a good enough detective to catch the raven, Danny. Wouldn't you
Okay,
know it? Oh,
I guess that's going to be never then. It's him being the Raven, he'll never capture himself.
yeah. Wouldn't you know it? Here we have a print, and we can't check on it. It doesn't belong to any known criminal. We're right back where we started.
See, that isn't where the problem lies. You're checking criminals.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you consider what he's doing criminal, but he's not robbing people. He's putting right. Well, technically, I guess he
Well,
is.
technically, he is robbing people, but he's doing the whole robbing thing. He's robbing from the rich and giving to the poor.
Yeah. Well, technically, he's not even just robbing from the rich. Technically, they're rich, but he's robbing from people who have already robbed somebody, some people, and just giving it back to the people that those people have robbed off of. So the the thing lies that you should be looking for a regular criminal.
Yeah, I'm
And
I'm
that got checked pretty fast too
yeah.
against all the criminals.
I'm Arthur Wells, Captain. I've been threatened by the Raven. He's coming to my house tonight. Wells tells Captain Lash that the Raven asked what the Raven asked him to do. Do just as he ordered. We'll lay a trap for him. Let's go, men. We're due at Wells' house in 10 minutes. Um, we'll catch the Raven this time. Hurry up, Danny. Why can't I go along too?
This is no this is no picnic. There's no going. There's going to be real fireworks.
Well, I like that. Well, all right. Oh, I'm sorry. It is actually her thoughts, not her speaking. Well, I like that. I'll show them.
They should have probably been. Well, it's like that. Not I. Well, I
They
like
can't do
that.
that to me. I'll fall on my own car. Lola arrives at the Wells mansion just in time to see a man leave a um, high-powered
Car.
or car. She is curious, um, leaves the engine running. Why? Why? Now, why would he leave one car with its engine running and then take a cab? There's something funny going on. I'll follow him and find out.
And she got there before the police.
Maybe she knows a shortcut or something. Um, Lola follows the cab to the slum section of town, still wondering what all this will lead to. What an awful place. He's going into now I'm sure there's something crooked here. Maybe he's connected with the Raven. Won't Dad be surprised this is true? Lola, flashlight in hand, slips through an open window, um,
At the rear of the house.
uh, through an open basement window at the rear of the house.
Going a bit further.
What? Something going on? Somebody come in to say something, or
No, it's when I thought you were stuck there. I read the end of it when you weren't quite that far in that panel or that capture box.
yeah? I've come so far. Might as well go through with it. Oh, these squeaky steps. Hope that thug doesn't hear that in the house. Meanwhile, back at the Wells Manor, you Flanagan, take the front door. McGowan, rear. The rest, scatter through the house. Keep your eyes open and your guns ready. You know, Danny, um, roving around the place and, or wait, now, Danny, keep roving around the place and make sure everything's all right. We can't fail this time. Danny run pauses before the library door and watching that no one is around, dons his hood and cloak to become the Raven. The Raven uses a penknife to short circuit the house lighting. Pretty innovative there. Let's see. Raven opens door and um puts his
Gun.
gun on Captain Lash, who is stationed um, near him.
Put up the gun, Flash, or else I'll relieve you of this before you hurt anyone.
Why you?
This money will go back to the poor people who are duped. Now take it easy, Captain.
Having thrown the gun into a corner, Raven turns and in a moment sweeps up the money. He then makes a dash for the balcony. There he is. Don't let him get away.
Sorry to have to do this, but
Ugh!
if I can only make the car, I'll be okay. I have to step. I'll have to step in if I want to lose him. Sure, recover fast. Make sure recover fast.
The Raven, in his supercar, leads the police a merry chase through the city.
Phew, that's that. I lost them, but jeez, it was too close for comfort. Well, here I am at the hideout. Hope Mike's waiting to deliver this money.
Glad to see you, boss. I got the envelopes ready.
Good. Then you know what to do with them.
Lola finally finds the room where Mike and the Raven are 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 talking or are conversing. The door opens. So long, boss. See you later. He's going back into the room. It's now or never. Mr. Raven, you're finished. Put up your hands. The Raven, um, quick as a flash. Oh boy.
Something knocks with John.
Steps and knocks the gun away from her hand. Oh,
Holy smokes! It was Lola. She almost had me. Maybe he, maybe she. Mike was right. I'm taking too many chances, but I must continue.
did Lola recognize the Raven as her sweetheart? See you next time for another exciting story of the Raven. All
I
right.
actually like
So,
that one better than the first one.
huh?
I was just saying, I actually like that better than the first one.
Yeah. The story overall was actually pretty good. My only issue, of course, is the choosing of these dark green narrative boxes with the black lettering. I mean, it just made it that much harder to read. Now, maybe
Yeah,
it looked fresh and crisp back in 1940, but right now the scan just makes it look
awful.
awful. Yeah, I mean, um, yeah. So
But I
anyway,
did really get a Batman vibe from him, of course.
hmm
You know, although there's this slight twist there, obviously.
yeah.
And
So
I think just by reading at least him in the disguise, I did too, the more Batman-ish type look or voice.
we're at hour 22 right now, so we might at least get, depending upon how far we, because I was, I was thinking we might be going over 2 hours, but we might still get some of the stories in. As I said, I was just gonna read however many stories. I mean, obviously we got the two main ones we were wanting to get done, which were Flash, Lightning, and the Raven. So we'll just
Well,
probably
that,
at the rate we're going, I think we'll get at least two more in before
I think that one
we get
went
to
a
the
little.
2 hour mark.
I think that one went a little quicker.
Well, that one was also less pages. That was only 7 pages. First one is 12. The rest of these are going to be like single digit pages. I think this one might actually be 5 pages, and then the next one, Marvel the Magician, will be like 8 pages. Um, so we'll see what happens here. But anyways, get back to the Wiz Wilson and his future scope. In his workshop, Wiz Wilson, young scientist, has requested has I'm sorry, has perfected the future scope, with which he can harness gravity, space, and time. The machine, he believes, will project him to any given place in the future, and now the big moment. With Wiz is Adelaide, his sweetheart, who gazes awestricken. Cheapers, Wiz. Do you think it will work?
Want me to do him?
Sure, I might as well have you do him too.
Oh, I don't know. There's nothing like trying. Let's see. Los Angeles is 2,000 miles away. I'm going there. And the year will be one that will be 1860. Here goes.
Hmm. So we're about to find out what the people of Ace Comics thought LA would look like in 1960. This is gonna,
Well,
20 years.
that's 1960. Yes, I said 1860.
Hmm.
La-
Oh. Los Angeles, 1960.
It works. But what's going on down there? Okay, he knows he's in a different place. There's nothing to confirm yet that it's Los Angeles and that it's 1960. So he doesn't know it's completely worked. We have the caption to tell us, obviously, but that's beside the point.
In a few minutes, we shall know whether we have succeeded or failed. Fritz, turn on the television newspaper. This will be a great day for us. Fools to think tiny the fools to think they imagine we can be stopped. Panama Canal destroyed, fleet pushing. Okay. Wait, we have not yet finished. The fleet must be destroyed. Come, we'll plan our campaign. Unobserved, Wiz steals to an open door. Have it, we shall. We have. I have it. We shall wire headquarters in Europe to transmit an electrical force to the Mexican coast. Right. It will draw the fleet to the rocks and wreck. Then they will be able to escape.
Will not be able to escape.
Well, will not be able to escape. Meanwhile, dictator in the dictator realm of Europe,
I thought I'll gentlemen.
your agents are on the ultra wire, Excellency. I suggest, Excellency, that you generate electrical force to Mexico, latitude 1169, longitude 3574 minutes. Oats, Excellency, and I shall send, or excellent, and I shall send 100,000 stratosphere bombers to blow up the entire coast. They will arrive within a few hours. Gentlemen, within 5 minutes, the fleet will be at our mercy.
I have got to reach them immediately.
The ships of the fleet and the flagship. What's wrong with Commander Britt? His ship's heading towards those docks. It'll sink. I can't do a thing with the engines, sir. I can't do a thing with the engines, sir. They're going crazy. We're heading for those rocks, and we can't go back. What's that? An enemy plane? All right, no monkey. All right, no monkey business, or we'll blast you off the ship. Who are you? Uh, I think there was actually. Let's see. Did I? Oh yeah, 3 minutes later. Okay, so that was back then. Um, yes. Who are you? And where did you come from? Wiz Wilson, sir, an American with news of enemy operations. Quickly, Wiz tells the admiral of the plot to destroy the fleet. But can we? But what can we do? We can't hold her, sir. She's going on the rocks within 5 minutes.
I think we could stop them. Uh, as rocketed here, as I was rocketed here, I noticed their powerhouse a mile back from the coast. If that could be destroyed, the current would be cut off.
But we can't. But we can't. But we can't get the range. We don't know the location.
The electrical current direct through shells.
The admiral issued orders for every ship to rain shells toward the shore. The um, the powder house is destroyed. Now, Rick, do you know what a powder house is?
Yeah, well, I think that is it powder or powerhouse?
No, it's powder. No, actually, no. You're right. Power. It is power.
Yeah, and of course, in this case, it's still powerhouse is of course where they're had the power to have the stuff to do.
Well, powder house. If it was powder, it would have been like where like chemical explosions would have been held.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's done it, sir. The ships are under their own control again.
But the danger's not over yet.
Think why would why? What do you mean?
Even now, 100,000 Stratosphere bombers are on their way to lay low to the coastal cities.
They're doomed. If only our arrow ray cable were completed, um, oh, we would stop them,
We could stop them.
or we could stop. You see, Wilson, we planned against air invasion by starting to lay a ray cable from Maine to Florida. But the enemy is striking, and it will take months to lay the cable.
I think I can help, sir.
Wiz sets his machine for the Maine coast, and in a flash, sights the cable ship and speaks to the captain. But how do I know you're telling the truth?
You've got to believe me. There's no time to waste. Look,
In the distance, the enemy bombers approach. You're right, but we're lost. His cable can't be laid to Florida. Um, Now I can't work miracles.
Give me the end of the cable and watch.
1 minute later, let's see, a Key West powerhouse.
Hope I'm in time. Those ships are plenty speedy and dangerous.
Wiz connects the cable and throws the switch. The arrow ray engulfs the raiders.
There.
They've all been destroyed. The the country is saved, and now I'm going home. Oh, I'm sorry, that was you. I'm sorry. Go for it, Rick.
They've all been destroyed. The country is saved, and now I'm going home.
An instant later, oh, Wiz, I've been waiting for you. What happened?
Let's go eat. I'll tell you all about it.
Did you like Wiz Wilson and his futuroscope? He'll be back again next month in another story of the future. Don't miss it. So, Rick, what did you think?
Interesting. um, but not the exact way that I would probably use it. Well, I'm not even quite sure how it completely works. Obviously, we've seen him get to Los Angeles, 1960, and there was some sort of whatever going on.
Mm-hmm.
But like I didn't think if he held on to a cable, like the one end of the cable, and he does his little whatever on his thing. That okay, I want to stay this time, but put me in, Florida when I'm in Maine. I didn't think the cable would travel along with him,
Mm-hmm.
so would be spread out. That'd have to be one long cable. I don't even think they would have that long of a cable on the ship. I would think it would be several cables that we would be laying over time from Maine to Florida because that's a couple thousand miles, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe. It might be interesting to see how how the physics of the Ace Comics universe works. What do you say?
Yeah, it was a good story. Don't get me wrong. It's just some things are, how does it work exactly? And I guess they might tell you a little bit more over time.
Maybe over time we'll find out. But anyways, a friendly reminder, to everybody, if you haven't already, you guys can like and share this thing. See if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage. That would be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions, and we'll try to answer the questions to the best of our ability. So with that, I think I will go with just one more story, and then we'll start to wrap. We'll do like this day in each history and wrap up. Because we're like coming up on we're like at an hour, coming up on
40.
an hour 40 right now. So we got time for one more story. Let's see. Which story? Well, we've done a lot of magician ones, and this one's also I think 8 pages. So I don't know if I want to. Think the very last one, Buck Steele, is like 7 pages. So Miss McCoy. Actually, I think I'll just go with the shorty, the humor one.
Which one is that?
Yeah, and I think I'll just take all the voices just to get it done quickly.
Uh-huh.
Haphazard. Nothing up my sleeve. It's a happy day. That kid looks like um, the baby I've been looking for. Made to order. Hey, buddy. Yeah, me. Yeah. Me and the missus are strange to this town, and we'd like to hire a nice kid like you to drive us around and show us the high spots. Pay $3 and what a break! $3 and just to um drive a boiler like this. Stop at the cigar store, kid. Uh, Next corner. Um, we gotta have some butts. Take your time, ma'am. Yeah, yeah, but not too much. Help! Moiter! Police! Step on it, punk. You're in this as deep as we are. We we slip them sops. We slip them cops, and we'll give you a split. Make a wrong move, and you get plugged. Faster, punk. Stop! Shoot the punk. Shoot the punk slug. Kerchoo! I'm blind. Ah, ker. Good hunting. Ah, gnats. Unloaded my uh, chew gun on Bullsker Chew. This quick leap on okay. They stopped in Bill. So the kids gotcha. Net net. I ain't crying. Let's see. The flower is hollow and filled with red pepper. Yeah, just press the bulb. Yeah, just press the bulb um and um it cures pest of looking over your shoulder. And thanks for the reward. All right, that one was a couple pages, so I just figured do that one real quick. So,
Yeah.
anyways, what did you think of the material tonight, Rick?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. Obviously, I like I'd say I like the second one the best, and then
Mm-hmm.
the third one second best.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the last one.
The last one was just a
Really,
little humor one. I think
yeah,
I had a little trouble reading some of the
yeah,
word bubbles there, but basically I think it was one of those things where they basically tricked him into being part of I think like some kind of bank heist or something like that, and then he
yeah,
ends up turning the tables on him. I think that's what happened.
yeah. I think I
You
get
know,
that.
the feature was called haphazard, and haphazard is a term people use for when
Yeah,
something goes wrong.
how you do something, you just
Yeah,
do it haphazardly,
yeah.
not
So
putting a whole lot of effort into it.
all right, well we're at a quarter till, so I think what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and do this day in each history, and then we're gonna wrap things up. So we've made it to the 2 hour mark here. So, anyways, today is Friday, July 19th, 2024. So let's take a look back at this day in each history. History! So, as soon as I can come up with all this. Okay, so, all right. So, first up, I'd like to wish a happy 70th birthday. Why that happened there, but anyways, I'd like to wish a happy, as soon as I pull that up now, I'd like to wish a happy 70th birthday to television writer Steve O'Donnell, who, of course, among other things, he's done a lot of comedy writing. He's written for, of course, The Simpsons, as well as Space Ghost Coast to Coast. So, happy 70th birthday to television writer Steve O'Donnell.
Yes, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
All right, so now moving ahead to 1984, which was just 40 years ago today. On this date, 40 years ago today, as soon as I pull that up. In 1984 there. The 5th issue of Blue Devil went on sale on this date back in 1984. It was 23 pages. The story was titled Viva Nebros, written by Gary Cohn and Dan Mishkin, penciled by Paris Collins, inked by Gary Martin, with Todd Klein doing the lettering and Michelle Wolfman doing the coloring. So Blue Devil number 5 went on sale on this date back in 1984, 40 years ago today. Now moving ahead to 1999. Moving ahead to 19. Oops. Moving ahead to, on this date in 1999. Combat Zone Wrestling, or CZW, is known by as its initials there. Combat Zone Wrestling held its street fight event from Mantua, New Jersey. On the night, the main event saw a street fight in a no contest between Nick Gage and Zandig. Justice Payne defeated Lobo in a barbed wire dog collar match. Now, mind you, CZW, this is the late 90s, so CZW was another one of those promotions, much like ECW, that specialized in hardcore wrestling. But they even more hardcore than ECW did in some respect. So in a three-way match for the three-way dance for the CZW tag team titles, the Kingpins of Prize and Shaver defeated Extreme Fahrenheit and John Dahmer and Middle Knight to become the CZW tag team champions. And Rick Blade defeated Justice Payne to become the new CZW Junior Heavyweight Championship as well. So 25 years ago today, CZW's street fight event took place in Mantua, New Jersey. And finally, as we move ahead to 2014, on this day in 2014, or 10 years ago today, so I pull it up here, OLM's Pokemon the Movie, Deontay and the Cocoon of Destruction, as well as Studio Ghibli's When Marnie Was There. Marnie Was There. Both premiered in Japanese theaters on this date back in 2014. So 10 years ago today, OLM's Pokemon the Movie, Deontay and the Cocoon of Destruction, and Studio Ghibli's when Marnie was there. Both premiered in Japanese theaters on this date back in 2014, 10 years ago today. So with that, I do thank everybody for being here tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. Before we head out, Rick, did you want to do an outro before we head out?
I, I will just put the link to my channel back thing. And just anybody who's still listening, if you want to go over, check out my channel and hit that. If you like what you see, hit the like button and share it out. And watch what you can of it. There's lots of stuff there to watch. My years of doing this, so
All right.
YouTube.
So with that, okay. Anything more, Rick?
No, that's it.
All right. So with that, I thank everybody for being here, and I hope to see everybody back here on Sunday. We got. Yeah, dude says thanks for a great show, guys. No problem. Well, thank you for Drake rather. Thanks, Drake, for dropping in. And if you missed anything, you can always go back and watch it again if you'd like. So with that, I thank everybody for being here, and I will see everybody back here on Sunday. Bye.